Ocarina of Time isn't perfect. The camera fights you sometimes. The water temple is the water temple. And yes, Navy will absolutely interrupt your life every few minutes. And somehow a 1998 Nintendo 64 game still feels more confident than some modern AAA releases that cost more than a small country's GDP. That's not nostalgia talking, that's design. So let's talk about why The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time still works and what AAA forgot along the way. Part 1. It knows exactly what it is. Ocarina of Time never tries to be everything. It's an action-adventure game, light puzzles, light combat, light RPG elements, that's it. It's not trying to be a survival sandbox. It's not trying to be a cinematic movie. It's not stacking crafting systems on top of skill trees, on top of loot, rarity charts. It picks a lane and then it commits. Modern AAA games often feel like they're terrified of committing to one identity, so they add everything just in case. Ocarina doesn't feel scared, it feels deliberate. Part 2. Clear progression, no bloat. Every dungeon in Ocarina follows a simple structure. You enter, you learn the theme, you get a new item, you use that item to solve increasingly complex problems, you fight a boss that tests what you just learned. That's elegant design. There's no skill tree asking you to add 2% more spin attack damage. There's no crafting menu slowing the pace. You gain abilities by progressing, not by grinding. And because of that, every item matters. The hook shoot isn't a stat boost. It changes how you move. The bow isn't cosmetic. It changes how you think about distance. Modern games sometimes confuse more systems with more depth. Ocarina proves that depth comes from iteration, not accumulation. Part 3. It trusts the player. Yes, Navy exists. Hey, listen! But even with Navy, the game trusts you more than a lot of modern titles do. It doesn't pause every 5 seconds to explain basic logic. It doesn't mark every solution in bright yellow paint. It lets you experiment. You see a suspicious wall, bomb it. You see a high ledge, try the hook shot. You see fire, maybe a different item solves that. It doesn't over-explain, it suggests. Modern AAA design often feels afraid that players might get stuck for more than 2 minutes, so everything is highlighted, everything is labeled, everything is explained before you even try. Ocarina is comfortable letting you think. That small difference changes everything. Part 4. A focused world. Hyrule Field is tiny by today's standards. You can cross it in minutes, but it works. It connects regions, it builds atmosphere, it creates space between dungeons. It doesn't exist to justify a marketing bullet point. It's not stuffed with 400 icons screaming for your attention. There's quiet in Ocarina. Modern open worlds often feel like they're afraid of quiet, afraid you might get bored, so they fill every inch with activities. Ocarina understands pacing. It knows that space matters. Part 5. Limitations created clarity. The Nintendo 64 wasn't powerful. That forced the developers to focus. Enemy designs are readable. Rooms are structured around a clear idea. Music carries emotional weight because visuals couldn't do everything. Constraints sharpened design. Compare that to modern AAA development, where technical freedom sometimes leads to creative excess. When you can do anything, you're tempted to do everything. Ocarina couldn't do everything, so it did a few things extremely well. Even when the series expanded later with games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the foundation of clarity was still there. The foundation that started here. Part 6. Yes, it has flaws. Let's be fair, the water temple can be frustrating, the camera is dated, the opening hours are slower than modern audiences might tolerate, but flaws don't erase focus. There's a difference between inconvenience and confusion. Ocarina might inconvenience you, it rarely confuses you about what kind of game it is. Modern AAA titles often look smoother, but beneath the polish, some of them don't know what they want to be. Part 7. What AAA forgot. This is the bigger point. AAA hasn't forgotten how to make games. It hasn't forgotten how to build worlds. It hasn't forgotten how to create spectacle. It's forgotten how to stop adding things. Ocarina works because every mechanic has a purpose. Every dungeon has intent. Every item belongs. Nothing feels stapled on to avoid criticism. Nothing feels like it's there because to focus group demand it. It's focused, and focus is rare now. Conclusion. Ocarina of Time still works because it feels confident. Not perfect, not flawless, confident. It knows what it is, it knows what it isn't, and it doesn't apologize for either. Modern AAA games often chase scale, safety, and mass appeal. Ocarina chased cohesion, and nearly 30 years later, that cohesion still holds up. Maybe the lesson isn't that old games were better, maybe it's that restraint is powerful, and somewhere along the way, AAA forgot that.